hopefully this is, oops, hold on. Let me just adjust a little bit. I know nobody's here just yet. Okay, hopefully that's... Yeah. So many things to do, and I'm not sure what I'm doing. Hopefully this is live. So hopefully I hear or see some people soon. I know I did this improperly. I got 2, 4. All right, so we're starting to come in now. Hey guys, I have not done this in a long time, and I'm actually happy to be doing this, especially since lately with a lot of things that's been going on between myself, work, Jerry, life. Um, why are my messages not staying? Hey Sheila, it's been a while since I've seen you guys. Um, yeah, the messages is like slowly disappearing. There we go. I had to readjust my setting. Sheila, how you been doing? I haven't heard much from you guys lately. Rebecca Clark. I don't think I recognize your name, but that's all right. Everybody's welcome. Oh, let me just run down a few things as of late, and then I'll accept questions. First off, to let you guys know, Jerry is without a voice right now because she has a sinus problem. I don't know if it's an infection or just a buildup of gunk. Um, so she's not live with me. She's actually just in the background moderating in a different room. As you can tell by the backdrop, I am in my office. Um, ignore the Mr. Goodbar. Sorry. But um, because of Jerry's science problems that's been with us for about a week, she has little to no voice whatsoever. So she could not join me. Ooh, Sheila, you're going to Vermont. Nice. Um, wish my comments would stop disappearing. Uh, that's kind of strange. I've never had that happen. It comes and goes. So I don't know. So forgive me if I don't see your comment because it disappeared before I can read it. In fact, yeah, it's doing that all over the place. How do I change that? I don't know. Chromie buttons. I hate it when I cannot see everybody's comments because it wants to disappear. But thanks to seeing her ENT, getting some new medications, and finding out that there was a problem with her septum or the cartilage or whatever in her nose had a hole in it, so they plugged that for her. Sorry, I'm just trying to get my phone to show me comments so I can keep track of the comments because, like I said, it wants to disappear. So if I don't see your comment, I apologize. I really do because I do want to see everybody's comments. I want to make sure I'm able to, um, see what you guys are saying. But I'm having a problem, so I'm just going to bugger B. Come on, James. Okay. Um, quit showing me stuff I don't care about. Let's see here. Let me just catch up real quick. Okay. Um, yeah, Jerry's been having her health issues and whatnot, but um, don't know how it happened, where it started, whatnot. I'm doing what I can to help her out and clean house and all that fun jazz. Um, I can see it briefly and then it disappeared, but that's okay. So I've been like very busy. But work wise, it's work. Right now, all I can say about that, but I can't really say much good towards work due to a whole lot of different little things. Um, I mean, I'm hanging in there and whatnot. Um, Sorry, Sheila, I gotta read your comment real quick before it disappears. Hello, Beverly. Sorry, I'm reading comments off my phone because of the screwiness. I thought you yesterday, Jim. I was out shopping and saw Natural Geographic books of America's national parks. That's nice, Sheila. I mean, I do love reading those books. Um, but at this point in time, I am so how do I want to put it? I am so inundated or flooded with my own books that it is becoming difficult for me to read. Because I've got so many, and it's like I want them. I want to read them all. Right now, all together. Just book after book. But between 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 like all the information I'm reading and whatnot, it's like information overload. My brain's going to explode. Um, but I do appreciate your thinking of me because of the National Geographic Park books. Yeah, I'm doing a lot of different. I'm fidgeting, partially because I'm nervous. The reason why I'm nervous. What am I reading now? I'm actually reading a book on. Well, I just got done reading a book on on jars, or jar, what we call jar magic, which is basically you take a little jar, you put certain ingredients into a little jar, and the jar, it has a purpose, whether it's for healing, um, just being centered, all different types of things. Um, Other than that, most of the books I've been reading have been like on new age type stuff. I mean, I'm not going to be around the bush. I know I'm a Christian by upbringing, but my my soul, my spirit, whatever you want to call it, is still very connected to the old ways. I've been that way, on and off most of my life. I mean, as a child, I didn't know better, but as I grew up and started reading and started looking inwards, basically, I realized that today's world is not exactly my cup of tea. Um, but most of what I'm working with is all natural products, the different crystals, herbs. Um, in fact, I just brung in earlier today 3 bottles of what we call full moon water. It's water that's been in the full moon overnight, and it's one of the many different components that are natural that we use for the different bottles. Um, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie anymore. It's been something that's been in the works inside me for years. I've just never thought about taking it to heart and um, practicing the old school medicines and cure alls and herbal concoctions. And I mean, we just found out. There's a somebody we watch created a mixture that can be used for a lot of different purposes. And I want to go back and watch that and see what she used. Let's see here. I think a lot of us are not happy with today's world. Fortunately, I think it's mostly our own fault. I do agree with that, Sheila. Mankind is very destructive. Not only are they destructive to the planet that we were given by God to be a steward of, which I think a lot of people have lost the meaning of steward. Um, it's not just the destruction of the wholesale destruction of the world by clear cutting whole old world growth forests to digging giant holes in the ground for ore. It's just money, politics, general not getting along with your neighbor. It's becoming too much of a chaotic mess, and I've preached this many times on my channel. Is if we can just get past the physical differences, the skin tone, the creed, culture, religion, all that fun, all that stuff, and look at the person for their character and their heart. I think we would be a whole lot better off if we just, had blinders on and worked with people without knowing what they look like. That would be the first barrier to fall, because I think that's the biggest barrier is people just look at somebody and go, oh, he's not dressed right, or oh, he's a different skin color, or oh, he's growing his beard long, or his hair long, or piercing his ears, whatever. I just think it's asinine. Yeah, we're called mankind, and we aren't kind, and we are more animalistic than the human beings that God created us to be. Um, you know, God didn't say, "Hey, look, I'm gonna throw a mixture of color on everybody and see what happens." No, He created mankind to be stewards of the planet, to be loving and kind towards each other, to help each other out with whatever problems are, and ignore the skin color or the religious background or the country they came from. You know, um, I know right here in Rolla, I mean, I've got all different types of skin tone from the college. There's a Catholic, there's at least one Catholic church here in town. There's a couple Baptists, a couple non denominational, and a mosque. And nobody seems to have a problem. Um, yet, well, Lisa is. Jerry could probably put the words better, but I'm going to try to do it my way. Lisa is temporarily living with us for a multitude of reasons. And I'm not going to get into the reasons because that's Lisa's personal business. But she is now a resident with us. Jerry's right. We did evolve. According to science, we evolved from dark skinned people, and our skin tone changed due to our environment. So it's like if you can't handle people because of the our for her health, okay. If you can't handle people because of different skin tones, you I mean, we can literally sit there and go, okay, yeah, I say it all the time. I am neon white. I am the whitest white person I've ever met. Yeah, I can get along with people from the African American descent. I can get along with Asians. I can get along with Hispanic people. I I don't see skin tone. I see character and attitude. Um. Oh well, that is nice. Nice for you, Jerry. Yeah, it is nice for Jerry to have her bestie here to chat with and whatnot all day long. And it is a win-win situation, Sheila. It is really a win-win, and it's not just a win-win for Jerry and Lisa. It's a win-win for me because Jerry, or not Jerry, excuse me, Lisa kind of understands my personality and whatnot, and sometimes has to be a go between me and uh, Jerry because sometimes Jerry just doesn't understand. But yeah, Lisa does miss her family. Mom's actually doing pretty good. She's enjoying the fact that we now have a pair of cats in the house, and they like to go into her room and check things out and play with Carmen's old toys. So, yeah. But I mean, we're becoming quite a happy family. I mean, when Mom saw that I pierced my ear, she was a little shocked. But it's something I wanted to do. Um, yes, they do a lot of FaceTime with family. Um, but yeah. And your daughter is living in Australia? Cool. I've always wanted to go. I never got a chance to go. Mom went years and years ago to the Brisbane area, so mom got to see parts of Australia. Not gonna discuss who took her and whatnot, but she at least got to go and see Australia. Thank good for social media. Well, social media, like everything in this modern day world, has its ups and downs. It all depends on the electricity, or what kind of Wi-Fi you can get. Yeah, she has lived there for 5 years. She lives in Sydney. Ah, I've seen a lot of pictures and a lot of videos out of Sydney. Um, I don't want to pry, but what does she do down there in Sydney? I've seen a lot of job offers come over Indeed for a variety of jobs in Australia, but I'm not going to take one of those up. If I were to take a job in a different country, it'd probably be somewhere like Ireland, England, Scotland. Um, we were referred to family being away. Yeah, I understand that, Jerry. Uh, yeah, I'm outnumbered by five. I've got mom, Jerry, and the two cats. It's all right. If I get tired of them, I can just grab my camping gear and disappear for a while. Of course, Jerry would get upset because I went camping without her. So, you know, she is a fashion analyst. Oh, cool, cool. Um, we got 37 people on here. Any questions? Um, you can ask me any questions. If I don't think they're worth answering, I won't answer. But I do like getting questions because sometimes it helps, you know, convey certain information or whatnot. Um, I don't know how many of you out of the 36 of you that are here are members of my channel, or if you're just passing through because you know somebody was live and said, "Hey, let's check them out." Um, for those of you who have not been with me long, or it's the first time you've been on here, hold on. When is your next? Oh, Jerry's next appointment. Um, oh, to ditch your brace. But anyhow, I think it's coming up sometime in October, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure. But those of you who are new, if you notice the tapestry behind me, it is of Norse origin. It is supposed to be. See if I can pronounce this properly. It's my biggest problem with pronouncing with a lot of foreign culture is pronouncing their words or their names. But it is Finrin, the hellhound that belongs to. Well, it's a child of Loki. It is also a piece of their Nordic history. Um, One of my favorite Norse deities is Tyr, the Norse god of justice and noble warriors. Had his hand bit off by Finrin as they chained him down so he couldn't run amok and cause. Um, he is one of the proponents for causing Ragnarok. Sorry, I had to think for a moment. Is it this Wednesday, Jerry? Because if so, I need to. Unless you don't need me, I need to let them know so I can take that day off. Because I forgot. I didn't realize it was this soon. But sorry, I forgot what I was talking about. But this tapestry was actually given to me by a friend of mine, um, and oh boy, um, I liked it. I hung it up. Another friend gave me the tapestry that's over here. Oh, sorry, let's just turn a little bit. That big tapestry was given to me by a friend, and I love it so much that it's on my wall. Um, and for those of you who are wondering, why are you studying Norse mythology and paganism? Well, it's because my one of my many ancestors are Nordic, and my DNA, according to the ancestry.com DNA test. There's also German, Scots, Irish, British. What is it? It's not. It's Scottish, Irish, Wales. Not all of Britain. Wales. Um, yeah, I think Sheila is the one who gave me the second tapestry I showed. I don't know. I can't remember who gave me this one back behind me. It might have been Sheila. It might have been somebody else. Um, but yeah, my DNA chart basically is from highest to lowest. It's kind of funny. But it's sorry, fudge. I don't remember the order now, but basically it's Irish, Scottish, Wales, German, Dane, uh, Norwegian, with a little bit of Swiss. Okay, okay, Jerry. Chris gave me the other one. All right. Um, so most of my DNA, if you take a look at history and where the Norse people or the Norsemen were originally from and where they conquered, you go, okay, so the Danish, which were Dane Vikings, um, Viking is an occupation, Dane is the people. Then there was Norwegian, and both the Norwegian Vikings and the Dane Vikings conquered a good section the of Britain during their time. Um, Wales happened. The area that is now called Wales, I think, was a settlement for the one group of. I think it was the Dane Vikings, but I'm not 100% sure. Um, then, of course, the I think it was more the Danes than the Norse. Um, they were connected to the Scots at the time. Um, I think what it was is they tried to land on a tip of Scotland, and the natives of Scotland, which were known as the Picts, kind of went, "No, you go home now," and literally kicked the Vikings' ass hardcore. And the Viking people at the time, the Norse, or what they called Scandinavia, which they were all considered Scandinavian until all the different borders were created, or sections of Scandinavia was, you know, broke up between the people. But oh, um, my birthday is October 21st. Um, but anyhow, the history of the Norsemen is quite interesting. But they basically the Celts and the Scots, the Norsemen left alone, pretty much not because of their ferocity, um, but because they came to a mutual understanding because of similar religious beliefs, that they were brothers. So they went, okay, you're, you basically worship the same gods. We're not gonna cause you any problems. But if you watch the History Channel's version, or the History Channel's the Vikings, the original one, not the Valhalla, but the one with Ragnar Lothbrok, it gives you a very good picture of what happened between the Norsemen and the Brits. So I don't have to give you a history lesson here. um, Excuse me. Yeah, my tailbone is hurting. Pills in the wrong location. Sorry. Um, but you know, history aside, and who I, my DNA aside, and all that. Um, I always knew when I was younger that I was not your atypical American. Which basically most Americans are. I'll say it. My father used to say it, we're mutts. We're a very mixed breed of European people who came to the New World at one point in time, and either our name changed or something changed about our name. But we are, Hensons. You know, what we were before we came to America, I don't know because there's so many different versions of our name. You've got Henson, Hanson, Henderson, Hendrickson. There's so many different names from that part of Europe that sound almost the same because most every one of them has son at the very end. I mean, look at one of my favorite historical characters, Leif Erikson. In fact, today is his should be his holiday because he discovered North America 500 years before Christopher Columbus, and his last name was Erikson. You know, Eric the Red, his father, probably had son in his last name. In fact, the idea of having a last name didn't come around until the time between 600 and 800 AD. Basically, your last name was basically whatever your occupation was. So Henson, if there was a section of Norse people or people from that part of the northwest Europe, um, they their last name was basically whatever they did for a living. Jim, I know you are into stones. Do you have a favorite? Do I have a favorite stone? Wow, that is an interesting question, Sheila. I mean, if we're talking about color wise, probably be tiger's eye because I mean I got one on right here. Tiger's eye. This one right here is a very interesting color to it. Um, but if we would have to go for like purpose, it would probably be either rose quartz or clear quartz. In fact, I'm wearing a rose quartz, and rose quartz is not only a stone that's supposed to attract or build love. It also increases the energy of the other stones around it. And I just recently learned the other day that the stones that you wear on your left hand is the energy you're trying to attract. So, amethyst, which is a love, is love and purity. The rose quartz is love and energy, and the red agate, it's a grounding stone, but it's a particular type of grounding stone. Darn it, I forgot what it is, but it's something I wanted to attract. Now, this arm is supposed to be energies that you want to try to get rid of. Um, Actually, I should be wearing the malachite, which is this green one, on my left arm, because, in fact, I'm going to change it over. Malachite is a money stone. It helps attract money in abundance. But I have the hematite, which is not only it takes negative energy and transforms it into positive energy, but it's a grounding stone. And the tiger's eye is strength. Now, I'm not trying, actually, it's not like strength, it's more like trying to get rid of negative power because I've been having problems with just, feeling weak lately. Um, but somebody said that if I wear too many bracelets on one arm, it could cause the stones to get confused and not do what it's supposed to do. I don't believe that. I don't. Stones, they're programmed and they're not really confusing. Let's see here. I have a James Deacon married with children. I thought Jim was the 13th. No, I'm the 21st. Jerry's the 13th in July. Um, Jerry, are you feeling better? Eh, well, Jerry can answer that if she's still awake. Um, I have anxiety. Is there a stone for anxiety? You know what? There might be. Nope. It's way down here. Anxiety. I think anxiety. You would want to wear the amethyst because I think amethyst is good for anxiety. That's smoky quartz. What is smoky quartz good for? Um, it's an amplifier, but works with transmuting negative energy to positive energy, amplifies positive energy, grounds, detoxifies. So smoky quartz will be a detoxifying, and it will help balance your energy, but not for anxiety. Uh, Self-esteem. Um, you know what, Sheila? I'm not sure, and I don't want to take up too much time looking for it, but I know there's at least one or two different types of stones that deal with anxiety. But oh, here we go. Um, Black tourmaline will help with balancing your emotional energy. It's a stress reliever, and it's also a cleanser of negative emotions. Um, but yeah, there are a couple. I will look them up, and I'll try to send you. See, if I can remember if I can remember how to connect you directly, I'll try to send that information to you. Let's see here. Okay. Oh, James, you're retiring next month. You know what? Good for you. Good for you, my friend. Good for you. Um, um, the other thing, Sheila, is if you have a good, reputable metaphysical store or shop in your area, the people should be very familiar with the different stones and what their properties are. I would say go there and try to see if they have the proper stuff for stones and whatnot for anxiety, and they may be able to point you in the right direction for um, bracelets. Depending on the stone and whatnot, there's something that you can look up online. Um, you can find out what stones will work with anxiety, and sometimes they'll even have like information of either wear it as a bracelet, jewelry around your neck, put it next to your bedside, carry it in your pocket. There's all different ways to use the stones or how to carry them or how to work with them. Let's see here. Yes, we do have a metaphysical shop in Des Moines. I think I will visit. Yeah, go visit them and just say, "Hey, I'm looking. I was suggested by a friend to come by to see if there's any kind of stones and bracelets or necklaces for anxiety. Um, I think I have one hanging over my bed in a little pouch. I just don't remember which one it is. Let's see here. Jim, will you be taking classes as soon as summer break? Um, well, James, it really depends because oh, Jerry's got a list up there for you right now. For anxiety, she looked it up real quick. Um, I was thinking about taking classes. The only two downfalls of taking classes for me is during the summer. I'm hoping by summertime I will have, if not sooner, a job that pays me better and is part time. I really don't want to leave the college, but at this point in time, because of Jerry's, I'm not saying that Jerry's the reason why, but between Jerry's needs and my needs, I I'm thinking of a part time job that pays me a little bit better than what I'm dealing with now would be best for all of us all around. But as for classes, yes, I know who James is. I remember him telling me about the change of names, but and now that I know he's got a child on the way, I see why. But I know of a couple resources that I found out about for taking classes in um, chakra healing and a lot of the new age interests that I'm in. Um, so I may or may not take those up if I feel I need to learn a little bit better than what I'm already learning through books. Because I love to read, but sometimes I'm more of an on hands type person. So if I had somebody who I can go to teach me what I'm looking to learn on hands, it would be um, 10 times better than just reading the information. Um, Other than something like that, I don't know if one, I don't know if I can afford classes. First off, let me just say that first off. Second off, um, a lot of things could happen between now and summer, and I won't know if what I'll be able to do by then. Um, that's a question for Jerry. But James, I still love all the messages you send me um, from the Bible and from your studies. Don't get me wrong, I'm not like going. Well, Jerry just put up the information for the classes. Um, I'm not leaving my Christian. I'm not like saying that I'm done with Christianity because I don't think I'll ever be done with Christianity. That's been part of my life since I was born. But I believe, and I think I've said this before, I believe that all the natural things out there, the herbs, the stones, um, the moon, the water that I got charged with the full moon, those are all things that were created by God, and whether people want to disagree or not, that's something I'd be willing to talk about. But just think about it: if God formed the planet and the moons and everything in our solar system, you would think that everything natural that's on our planet or under the soil is usable for good purposes. Yes, I know there are a few people who have used it for the wrong purposes, or people who just don't understand, want to rebuke the idea that herbs and stones and crystals and the moon have power of one form or another from God. Um, so please, I'm not straying from Christianity. I just don't agree with a lot of modern day Christianity. That's one of the reasons why I am so looking forward to reading this book. Whoops, tassel. How do I really believe that there are missing information from the Bible that were rejected by the early translators of the Latin and Hebrew texts. Um, Not only because of the fact of translating some of the original text is kind of difficult because they didn't use the same kind of pronunciations or nouns and verbs and adjectives and all that. So translating from a language that does not use all that to a language that does use all that, it's kind of like, okay, who are they talking about? What name are they use? What's their name? What's you know, what are they trying to talk about this person? Because there's you know, no proper English back then, or American English, or even you know, the Queen's English. Um, so okay, yeah, the early church. Thank you very much, Jerry. I keep on wanting to be like, okay, which church? I don't want to say Catholic because Catholics might get mad at me, but I don't want to be like the King of England and the Church of England decided to do this. So I will be interested to hear your thought on that book. Oh, don't worry, Sheila. This is one of these books that I'm like, when I started reading it, y'all are gonna hear. You're all gonna. I'm gonna either read it directly out of the book to you guys, or I'm gonna say, yeah, this is what I found. So don't worry, Sheila. This might be my new Sunday morning routine of just reading out of this book, just to get the information out there and hear what people have to say, and hope it doesn't cause a lot of hubbubaloo, because that's the last thing I want. I mean, I don't want a lot of you know fighting or arguing, or, oh, that's not what I was taught. Well, of course not. Nobody was taught this because it was not in our modern day Bibles. Um, just like the whole thing about the people who want to argue with me about the genuine power in crystals, and my belief that God empowered these crystals because they're natural. The only thing unnatural about these crystals was the factor that they were shaped into these little beads by somebody in a polishing machine or somebody in a rock tumbler, and got a little hole in there and put them on elastic bands. That's the only part of it that's not natural. You can go to metaphysical stores and ask for raw crystal bracelets. My only problem with the raw crystal bracelets is they're not always polished, and they're kind of sharp and jagged and can cut you. And you don't want to be cut near your carotid artery or whatever this area is called. Um, you should read it during the week and summarize it in your video. Well, that might be one of the things that I do. I don't know. It really depends on how much time I take on a Saturday night or whatever, or whenever, and read it and write down notes or whatnot. Um, we'll see. I just know that yeah, nature does also polish the rocks herself. Especially if they're rocks out of a stream or waterway. Um, but when they're fresh dug out of the ground, they're not really all that polished. But yeah, I understand what you're saying, Jerry. Um, but yeah, we'll see, because I want to finish up one particular book that I'm doing right now, and then I want to, I might take all the books that I still have to read and write numbers on pieces of paper and go, Jerry, you're going to be the person. Pick, pick a piece of paper out of this hat, and we'll see what number it is and what it corresponds to. Um, it's one of those things. How long will you have off for Christmas break? I think I have about a month month and a half. Jerry, how long did I have off last year? You'll you remember that stuff better than I do. And as for my plans, well, spend time with with my wife. It's personally right now it's kind of too far ahead for me to plan anything other than just being with Jerry and enjoying time with Jerry and Mom and Lisa if she's up here because she might head down to Georgia to 4 weeks. Okay, she might head down to Georgia to spend the colder parts of the year down there. Um, It's too far ahead to really for me to sit down and plan it out. I mean, I have a week off for Thanksgiving, um, and I don't even know what I'm going to do for Thanksgiving. I don't even know if we're going to have company and a Thanksgiving dinner, or we're just going to have something like maybe a small ham for the 3 or 4 of us, and then Christmas will be actually Thanksgiving will be a small turkey or something like that, and Christmas will be ham. That's all I know. Anything beyond that is just kind of, but yeah. And then 4 weeks off, who knows? You know, a lot of things can happen between now and then. I mean, I could get lucky and be able to afford to, either turn my minivan into an RV and go south with Lisa, or actually, get really, really lucky and get an actual Class C RV. Is it C or B? I can't remember. But one of the things I've learned in my crazy 50 years of life is don't plan too far ahead, because if you plan too far ahead and it doesn't go the way you planned it, you get upset, or at least I get upset and annoyed and just kind of throw up my hand like, oh, screw it. I guess it'll never happen. Um, I don't want to do that anymore. I want to be like, let whatever comes come, and then we'll deal with it when it gets here. 30 people in the chat. Anybody else have any questions? Yeah, really. Any of you guys, have any questions? I'm open. You know, because I mean, I can sit here and tell you about my childhood and spend the rest of the, time that I'm. Ooh, about 13 more minutes before I decide to shut down, because I try not to let my videos go, especially my lives, go over an hour. Because then it takes forever to get them downloaded. But I am willing to stay on longer if people start asking questions, other than Sheila, because she's already asked a whole bunch of them. But as I have a video. Actually, I have a video that I recorded earlier today, and I decided to do an impromptu video session or chat session, because I haven't done one in a long time, and I wanted to. But I'm just gonna say something that I put in my video that's gonna probably pop up tomorrow sometime. Even though um, I'm not a full blown Christian anymore because of certain internal reasons. I don't want to say beliefs, but just internally, it's not that it's Christianity, because I do still believe in Christ. I still believe in what God has made and done. But go ahead, kicking it Wiccan. All right, I love that name already. Go ahead, ask your question. Um, I'm really looking forward to this question, because I mean the name alone makes me go yay. Um, Go ahead, kicking. I might have a time delay between my phone and my tablet that I'm on. But as I was saying, I mean, I was born and raised Christian, but I realized that there's more to the world around us, or things like that. Um, do I cast spells? Well, to be honestly, I have not gotten to that point. Um, I'm kind of a baby at this. I'm a newbie. I had tried at one point in time when I was younger, in my 20s. which was about 30 years ago, to cast spells. And I did find that one or two of the spells that I did use worked, but I did not have the finances or the fortitude, however you want to put it, to attempt to go further. Um, I had tried, because let me just give you a real quick, brief history. In my teens, by like mid-teens, 15, 16 years old, I had my father, my grandmother, and two aunts pass away on me, and I questioned everything. I started questioning the validity of Christianity. I started questioning the validity of a caring, all-loving deity. I started to realize how harsh the real world is. That you can't just go and leave your problems with somebody that you don't see, and then turn around and find out that your problems aren't being solved; they're just stalemated. Um, and then that's when I started getting into Wicca and shamanism and Druidism, and I did not know my lineage or my DNA history of my ancestors. Only that my mom's side of the family is Scots Irish, so our ancestors from that side of the family, her side of the family, are basically Highlanders and Picts, and German, so mythic Goth and whatnot. But I did cast two different spells, and they both worked to my surprise, because I was like, I don't know if this is gonna work, but you know what? I have an open mind. I'm gonna try it, and went, oh, it took a little bit longer than I had hoped for, but it worked. Let me just put it this way: it worked. And well, after I moved out of Phoenix, so that's where we were living at the time, Mom and I decided to move here to Missouri. And due to being a respectable child, I followed Mom to church and sat there, and I got back to my Christian roots for a while. And then what happened was, three events happened that caused me to re-question the validity of the church, the established church. Not the validity of Jesus, but the church. And basically, the first two things that happened right here in Missouri is we went to our church. I had a debt for going to a Christian college for 1 year, and Mom was having trouble keeping up with the bills. And we knew the Bible states, that the Christian church is supposed to help widows and orphans. I didn't consider myself an orphan because my mom was still alive, but the military considered me an orphan because my father, who was in the Air Force, had passed away. But we went to the church and we asked them if there's any way they can give us a loan. We would pay back the money. And when they denied me, I was just like, okay, that's fine, Danny. I'm not really an orphan. But when they denied my mom, who's a widow, I just kind of went, that's not what the Bible says. The Bible says you're supposed to help her out. No, they wanted that money for a new building, or to refurbish a building that was attached to the church. And I just kind of went, strike two strikes. And then my wife, who was a practicing Catholic and taught catechism in Bible school for years before she met me, um, they basically excommunicated her for marrying me outside of their church. Spellcasting is my favorite. I've been wanting to ask y'all something, but I'm kind of afraid to. Do not be afraid to ask me anything. You can ask me whatever you want to. Um, I will not get mad at you. I might sit there and go, that's out of my field of expertise, or that's not something for me to answer because it's not really on my shoulders. But me, Jerry, even our best friend Lisa is very open minded. In fact, um, Lisa's more the practicing Wiccan or pagan than I am. I'm just, like I said, I'm just learning. I'm a baby. But because of my Nordic heritage, Norse paganism is something I've been studying lately. Go ahead, Wicca. Wiccan. You can answer or ask me, not answer. Ask me whatever you want. I will try to answer it to my best ability because, like I said, I'm just learning. In fact, I'm gonna do this real quick. I know some people might get upset, but if you can't tell, come on. Oh, I gotta pull it in the legs to move it. I've already set up a Norse pagan slash Wicca altar on my grandmother's or great grandmother's buffet. So right now I'm kind of like working with rune stones and crystals. But yeah, I mean, sorry. Um, my numbers are going up and down, up and down. If there's anybody who just joined us and want to ask a question, I don't care what question it is. I'm open to everything. Well, I shouldn't say open to everything, but I'm open to most things positive. Um, Now I'm pretty sure Kick It Wiccan will agree with me that in Wicca there is no negative forces. We do not work with anything. Okay, Grandma's buffet. We don't work with anything that's negative or harmful. Let's see here. Okay, well, first, I am a long-time follower of your wife. Hi, Diane. You're such a trooper. Okay, I've quietly been watching your channel since your start, and when I found out you were into witchcraft. Okay, well, it's funny you use the word witchcraft. To me, it's not. It's something different, but it is part of the craft. Okay, I wanted to I wanted to cast a spell on that evil being that keeps pestering you guys and causing drama. I'm sure you know who I mean. I do. Um, I'm leaving it to rest for the moment. Um, when my correct me if I'm wrong. To cast a spell or anything like that on anybody, we must watch what we do because of the power of three fact. Um, and I'm not taking that off of the TV show or anything like that. But if you do, please make sure that it's not going to be something that could backfire or be harmful. Um, that's all I ask. Now, if you choose to, Dre says you're more than welcome. Okay. Any protection spell? Yeah. If you want to cast like a protection spell or anything like that, that's great. I don't want anything more. I don't. It's one of those things where I have a couple. I just got done reading this book, and I have a couple spells in there that I want to cast for my family um, to protect this house and the members in this house from any unwelcome negative energies or harm. But yeah, if you want to cast a protection spell, go for it. Go for it. Um, I almost kind of wish, just a little bit. Um, yeah, I if I knew where to not to send the authorities, because as far as I'm concerned, the authorities won't do enough for me. I've always wanted to wish. I always wish I knew this particular person's address. I mean, not. where she's from, not the postal stamp, but an actual address. Because I have a few choice things to send, not just words, but um, not even spells. Just you, just well, like I said, I'm letting it rest. I don't even know why I got all buggy about it, but yeah, if whatever you want to do, kicking, that'd be nice. Jerry's got better words than I do because I mean I'm a person who when I see this information and see the ugliness from it, I just kind of want to go, calm down, Jim. Don't let don't let the beast out. Don't let that berserker out because you'll want to go a Viking. But anyhow, something we all have to deal with is our own personal demons. Mine is not. I don't really consider it a demon. I consider it a it's a force within me that just wants to follow the ways of Tyr and seek justice. So of course I've got Tyr and you know, Thor. Of course, right now before I go to bed, I have to drink something. Something I discovered reading one of my books is if you set up a Norse pagan type of altar to offer up gifts or anything like that for the deity of your choice. I've got four deities that always seem to ring out in my head. Thor, um, Tyr, Freya, Heimdall. A lot of people would go, well, why not Odin? To be frank, from what I've read about Odin and some of the things that have crossed my mind in my dreams and whatnot, Odin's an ass. I'm sorry, but he is. I'm sweet to those that deserve sweetness, but I can be sour, very sour to those whom are sour too. I understand that, kicking. I'm the same way. I have a. I didn't want to talk about work, but I have a coworker that. Well, let's just say she thinks she's the best, but the best thing she can do is stand there and hold down a counter and watch the register and not help out with the other things that she should be doing. And there's every so often she just pushes the wrong button or twists the wrong dial, and I'm just like, I'm just like, can I take her outside and squish her like a bug because you know, yes, I know my time, and I'm over an hour, and well, I'm just gonna let it run for a little bit longer. Just another another 10 minutes. Um, but anything else? Anything else you want to ask, Kickin, or anybody else? Because now I've got 41 people. Um, D. Okay. Well. I have many people telling me to check this out. Well, D. No, D. We weren't even talking about you. At least I don't think we were. The person I was thinking about had nothing to do with you. I have no ill will towards you, D. You have not tried to send my wife nasty grams or anything like that. Um, so I don't know what people are telling you, D. But uh, somebody gave you the wrong piece of information. So, but But I'm actually kind of glad you're here, D. Is there any questions you have for me? I mean, since you're here, well, anybody who messes or not messes, excuse me, that's the wrong word. Anybody who dabbles or uses magic of any form has to be careful. But I have not actually, D. I have not even gone to your channel in a while to watch anything or listen to you. But I hope your family and your, especially your granddaughter, is doing well. Which one, D? Because she's had multiple. Um, but all her appointments have gone well, pretty much. Her last appointment, she had to go to an ENT. She's got a bit of a um, sinus infection, and they found um, a hole that they had to plug up, and she can't talk right now because of her issues. There you go, D. She was telling you the same thing as I was talking. Uh, but um, stuffed tissue in nose. No, not stuffed tissue. She had a hole in her nose, like literally the cancer, or whatever you want to call it, ate a hole through the interior of her nose. So they had to put a type of plug up there. I don't know exactly what kind of plug, but all right, D Wicca. Let's not get into spats because I don't want that on my channel. I'm trying to keep this all calm, cool, collective. No fighting, no bickering. I want you to be able to sit here and listen to us and read the comments and know that we have no ill will towards you or your channel. There are other channels and other websites that I don't deal with no more. Um, I don't know if she was, and oh, T, not yeah. I'm sorry. Um, Maybe she was talking to Jerry D. I don't know. But Jerry's been drinking lots of tea with honey, which she's not a big fan of honey. Let's just put it that way. Her father used to call it bee shit or bee vomit, you know. But I love tea with honey. It's the best for soothing my throat, helping with my sinuses, the whole 9 yards. Yeah, Jerry, ick, no honey. Um, she actually now has kicking. She has some lemon honey tea, so it's lemon honey flavored. Um, oh, okay. Well, that's something I don't know about D. It's the first time I've heard anything. Yes, Dee's one granddaughter that she always has on her channel is a very beautiful young lady. I'm actually proud that Dee has a granddaughter so well mannered and whatnot. Okay, Dee. Well, that hasn't been here, and I don't know anything. And if it's between you and her, that's fine, Dandy. As long as I don't have to deal with it, because I don't want to. I don't want trouble, and I don't want to have to bump somebody out of my chat just because of something that's going on off my chat. Oh, it's lemon ginger. Okay. Lemon ginger, green tea, and ginger with honey. Okay. Okay, thanks. I couldn't remember what all you bought for teas. Um all right. Oh, it's almost 8 o'clock. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, in about 3 minutes, I'm going to go ahead and get off here because I have to go to bed. Tomorrow, I have to work. I'm also going to my first psychological counseling session tomorrow. Oh, yes, meds. I have to do meds. It is Sunday. Well, meds is work, you know. But D, I might have to watch more of your channel because I've had a few people say that you've been speaking well of others. That and just listening to your granddaughter sometimes. It's funny. It's quirky. She is a smart cookie though. I you know CD. I don't have any ill will. I just wish that people would be more receptive in listening to um, what I have to, what I'm saying, and try to, get around my um, difficulty with speech and whatnot. Because sometimes I get a little like, but um, for me, most of the problem is not D or in her channel. It's some of the people who don't want to like open their eyes or listen to my words or get to know me better. That's the same thing with that other place that I'm not even going to talk about because um, I don't want nothing to do with them because they're just all about negativity. D at least has a good bit of positive energy and whatnot. They're just things that I don't know if it's taken out of context or some people fill D's ears with whatever and not talk to us. That's why I'm glad that I let a lot of people I put in purgatory or in the no zone. I'm glad Dita is one of them I took out because I really want to be able to communicate with D and whatnot. Um, let's see here. Good luck with my appointment. Thank you very much. Yes, it's a new doctor for me, and I hope it's an actual one on one with a doctor and not talking to a video screen because sometimes that just causes me to go. Hold on a second. I gotta turn that off. Okay. Let's see here. Mental health is very important. Always take care of yourself first. D, I appreciate what you just said. My problem with um, taking care of myself first is I've always been the one, and Jerry's the same way. Is we both like we'll take care of each other, but when it comes to our personal health care, sometimes we just kind of like, no, I'm feeling fine. But yeah, that's not the case anymore. I'm getting a little. Pardon me, Jerry Jim, but I need to say this. D, you dug your own. I'm not going to touch that with kicking because, um, like I said, that's between the two of you. Um, Self care is important. Yes, it is, Sheila. Um, oh, comments are coming carefully, or rapidly. You've been told correctly, Jim. Diane has always wanted positive. Yeah, I, I'm starting to see that more and more. Even though every so often I kind of go, how do I talk to D without everybody else being in the middle of it? Because I want to tell D my side of it before anybody else can fill her head. I'm not saying that everybody fills D's head because D is oh, well enough to make her own thoughts, but sorry, should be you and your family. Oh, okay, I understand what you're saying now. Brenda, I hope I'm saying that right. Oops, my 3 minutes are already gone. Okay. Um, D, I do know New Yorkers. I was there for 13 years. I'm gonna start wrapping this up, guys, because it is after 8 o'clock and I need to get things settled down. Um, all right, guys, please stop. Um, but anyhow, um, D, thank you for showing up. I mean, I appreciate your appearance and what you had to say, and hopefully we can communicate a little bit better than we have been. I know it's partially on my fault. I mean, I do blame myself for not keeping a level head from time to time. Um, have a good evening, Sheila. I'm glad you were able to show up. Um, you know what? I've gotten so many different ways of keeping positive thoughts and energy. I mean, I've got a lot of good books and just a lot of good things going on right now. And um, um, so I know some people do not fully agree with my choices, but they're my choices, and I appreciate you wanting to be worried and concerned about my well being and what I'm doing, but I guarantee you, one, I don't fool around, and two, this is all for positive stuff. This is not for binding or or anything negative. Um, Good night, kicking. But D, um, if I don't have an open channel for you to talk to me with, I will be glad to give you. If you don't have my email already, you can get it from Jerry Ann. If you don't have my Instagram method of contact, you can I can pass that along. Um, uh, okay, Jerry's got the word I'm thinking of. I you know um, but I have watched your channel on a number of times without making any comments because I just wanted to see what was going on. Um, we all have our problems, family, personal. Um, I really hope that people. I don't want to say it's your fault, D, but you have control of your channel, and if the other people don't want to hear my side of the story or the truth from my perspective or from the information I have on all that kind of stuff, that you know that's one of the biggest reasons why I don't make talk on a lot of your videos, because I just don't need the frustration of people who don't want to hear my side or Jerry's side. That's the only thing that bugs me, is people are not willing to hear everybody's side of what's going on. I know you said many a times that you only get a small glimpse, and you're taking that small glimpse for your channel. Um, it's your channel; you can do whatever you want. But I would be hopeful and somewhat respected, as well as being respectful, if people would just be open. Um, Sometimes be honest with you, D, sometimes I don't have the answers. Sometimes it's hard for me to um, show you the answers. Yeah, that does make sense to me, D. I just don't know how to get all the answers everybody wants. And sometimes the answers that I do have is either hard for other people to understand, or just people don't want to accept it because it doesn't sound proper, kosher, whatever you want to call it. But I am more than open and willing to work with you to try to clarify the questions. And if I don't have the answers, that's all I'm going to say is I don't have the answer, because it's, I only know so much. Yes, I can read Jerry's records. They send us home every time we go to see her doctors from Mercy. They send us home with documentations of new prescriptions or their information, and I can only read that information off. Um, I can't, for legal reasons, I can't just show you the documentation because it has the doctor's name, the clinic I go to, all kinds of information that basically could reflect badly on us. Um, but otherwise, it's kind of like one of those things where I'm like, I'm telling you the truth. What more can I do to prove it? Because I mean, without breaking rules, I mean, that's all I can do. Um, oh, they're new orders and or medications. Okay, I thought there was something I read off one of the documentations that was like a after visit report, not just new medications and orders. But I like I said, D, I'm willing to come to your channel and give you as much information as I legally and or just mentally possible. I will blame some information on my mental because I forget stuff. So it's kind of like I want to clear the air. I want to, get to a point where there's no like, you know why does it look like she's healthy as can be, but she's lying in bed all the time? What's going on with her cough? What's going on with her sinuses? What's, what are the doctors doing? When is she going to be able to do this, this, and this? Well, it's a combination of time waiting for doctors and just, you know yeah, and just, like, look, I don't know what's going on because there's stuff going on that even the doctors aren't 100% sure of what's going to happen, or when she can get rid of the brace, or when she can start walking. There's just a lot of things that we don't even know because that's the doctor. um, well, I understand both Betty and Dee on what you're saying, but we've been totally honest with you guys with what we know. You know, yeah, there's been people who create allegations or create false stories that go to just about any place they can to speak their mind or speak whatever it is that's going through their head. I mean, um, now, D, you've never really, made any kind of allegations or anything to seeing Jerry walking down this boulevard or downtown Rolla. But this Josie's girl or whatever her name is, the other reaction, she has a reaction channel. Um, she said she saw Jerry and her friend walking down Raw, and I was like, show me the proof. If you've got pictures saying that my wife was doing something that she says she's not doing, I want you to pull out the proof. I want you to give me an actual piece of evidence that's beyond questioning. Otherwise, that stuff right there is just kind of like, look, if you don't have proof, keep your mouth shut. And I'm not saying that to you, D. I'm actually saying it to the other people, because you, D, have never made any unquestionable allegations or unquestionable statements. You've asked plenty of questions. I had no answers for you. You talked a lot of good things, and you stated a lot of stuff that I question. But I don't sit there and go, okay, she's lying. No, I just sit there and go, okay, how do I bring forth enough information for D to understand where I'm coming from and what's going on our side? Um, yes, not on your channel, but on somebody else, their own personal channel. And I know it didn't come from you, D. Those the allegation of having pictures of Jerry and Lisa walking around in downtown Rolla or wherever, came from Josie, not from you. So yeah, no, I know you didn't make that statement. That was a different YouTuber. Um, right. The oncologist does not. It cannot be on camera because he can get in trouble, and does not want our. Okay, Pagan 123. Okay, I couldn't remember who it was. Yeah, I think I had an argument with that person. Because that person is not a pagan. Totally opposite of what a pagan should be, or is. Um, but yeah, I've never, at least I don't think that I've ever said anything like, "Oh, Dee's lying because she," no, I don't. I try not to do that because I know, Jerry knows, I'm pretty sure you know that we each have our own individual truth from what we know. You stated on several of your videos that you have background in medical, which is great. My mom was a medical transcriptionist for years. Um, you talk to me about medicine and whatnot from modern day perspective, and I kind of go, huh, it's a chemical. That's all I know. Um, you know, but um, I hate to cut this off, D. I really do because I'm enjoying this. This trade off. But unfortunately, I do have to go. I have to go to bed and go get up early in the morning. I still have last minute chores before I go to sleep, like set up our medicine cobblers. Um, but D, please, any questions you have, anything you want to talk about when it comes to me and Jerry, contact us. I mean, find a way to contact us. If you don't have a way to contact us, just leave a message on my latest video or something like that, or on just a comment, and I will try to scoot over to your channel and type in um, the information so we can trade off information and keep up the positive conversations and whatnot. Um, it is great to see you and Dee conversing on here, Jim. Well, I'll be honest with you, Brenda. I've come to a realization that everybody has their own truth, their own information, their own knowledge. And instead of just sitting there going, they're full of crap, they don't know squat, it's better to converse and try to get things smoothed out and get the information out there and no offense towards D, because it's not towards D, it's her other viewers. There are a few viewers that I know on D's channel that no matter what I say, good or bad, they're just going to be spiteful and nasty towards me. And that's fine, Danny. I really could care less about them. It's not about them. It's about conversing with the two different creators, D and myself, or D, myself, and Jerry, to try to do things smoothly. I know just from tonight's little, excuse me, tonight's back and forth between D and Kickin, um, I see that there's a lot of like heated issues out there because of disagreements. Now, I should know I'm one of those people, and I've got to the point where it's like I don't want to be that person no more. I'm not able to do a live tonight. I have to pick up my son up from work soon. He is on second shift for training. That's all right, D. I have to go to bed. I really do. I would love to sit and watch your live, but I have to go to bed. If you do a live on Friday night, Saturday night, I'll pop in. I'll try to be there. Um, let's see here, Jerry. Then why don't you put an end to all the unanswered questions that have made your loyal viewers suspicious? You can you can so easily end all this by giving your viewers the truth and show they're wrong. Betty, we have been trying and trying and trying to show the truth and give the truth and tell the truth, but so many people don't want to hear it. There's too much drama out there because of other YouTubers and other websites, and people just don't want to hear us anymore. They don't want to hear our side of it no more. We've tried to show them medical records. We've tried to show them documentations that we can without getting into trouble with medical malpractice and whatnot. We've tried so many ways to give them the information that we have to show the truth, but people don't want to hear our side of it. They want to just take what they want to take and run with it. And that's why I don't deal with the viewers anymore. At least not the viewers who want to be negative and say, oh, no, you're not telling us the truth and you're not giving us the whole when we have been. I tried to by showing medical documentations I had here. Jerry tried to with the medical documentation she had from SLU in St. Louis, where she had her surgery in the whole 9 yards. And Betty, I would love to be able to put this to rest, but if people aren't going to listen and not believe everything we show them, then that's not our problem. That's their problem. And I'm done with dealing with other people's problems, because no matter what we try to do to rectify the situation, people are still like, oh no, that's not the right information, or that's fake documentation, or whatever. And I'm like, no, it's not. It comes directly from the medical personnel. It comes from the hospital. It comes from Mercy. It comes from our local facility where Jerry was going for her radiation bombardment treatment. Um, she has paperwork from SLU. She has paperwork from the rehab center. She has paperwork from all her doctors here in town. Nobody wants to listen. I would love to try to do a live with Diane, but for some reason, when we tried to connect, so we were both on her live, it wasn't going through. It wasn't working. Um, I thought it was great, even though I was trying to keep up with the questions in type. And I know I'm not good with that. That's not my forte. My forte is basically this. Um, but I would love to do another live. I just think that me and Diane needs to. Dre said she can help us. Um, I don't. Yeah, I can't type fast. I You might be able to type fast, D, because you if you did like medical transcription or anything like that, you learn how to do that. I no, I'm a visual. Jim, when people ask you genuine questions, you delete them. I used to. I'm not deleting them no more. What's happening with some of the questions that have been asked because of the way they're typed out, the algorithm that I use to keep negative comments at bay go into a preview file for me to preview, and I don't always get to that preview. Um, Medical transcription helps with, yeah, it does, it does. My mom was a medical transcriptionist, and she types like crazy. Um, but how about a scheduled live Q&A? You know what? That is a great idea, Brenda. A live Q&A. Um, I actually might do that next weekend, um, because I would like to I would like to do something like that. I wanted to try to do it tonight, but being this was kind of like an impromptu, I didn't get to put it out there fast enough to say, "Hey, I'm doing a video. I'm doing a live chat. Bring your questions." Um, but that might be something I either do Friday or Saturday of this coming weekend. Um, that's going to be interesting to see D. I love I love doing family. Well, I love doing vlogs. I don't always get to do family vlogs because I'm not that good. Um, I hate to say that I'm kind of a semi techno retard. I don't like using that word, but I'm not that great with technology or doing certain things with technology. To be honest with you, my biggest experience with technology between playing games and doing like some forms on WordPerfect, creating my own forms of documentation on WordPerfect. But that's this this trying to edit. Forget about it. Jay said she'd help me in the future, but I'm trying not to, Um, yes, yes, I know, Lisa. I don't like it either. Um, especially since Jerry Ann, when I first met her and moved to New York, she was working with physically and mentally handicapped adults. And I worked as kind of like that go to handyman type deal. Um, yes, thank you, Jerry. Technotard. See? Um, but I, you know, I want to be able to, especially by the new year. I really want to do this before the new year, so when we start the new year, everything's a whole lot better with myself and you know the viewers. Not only my viewers, but those who go to Diane's channel. I literally want to give no reason for anybody to be gossiping or making um, false comments or accusations about myself. Like this evening, um, D first thought I was talking wrong. Maybe it wasn't me, D. You can correct me if you want. I really like people to help me out. Um, and I do want to accept people's help. But earlier today, I might have said something that was on the wrong foot between me and D, and I tried to smooth it out because I mean, as I've said many times, if we love one another and we get past the um, masquerade of our what we look like and whatnot, if people were more blinded to certain things about other people, the world would probably run a whole lot smoother. Um, and that's all I've ever wanted. I never came on YouTube starting creating my videos and wanted to be on the wrong foot with people. I know that not everybody's going to agree with what I have to say, or maybe even what I look like, or anything like that. I don't like that. It's one of it's one of those things that I never liked. I never liked knowing that somebody was upset at me because of something I did or something I said, and I've always done my best to try to correct that. And unfortunately, in my attempts, um, I fumble. Well, I am human, so you know. But uh, what's it? I like Jim, but you, Jan, I'm turned off by you. That's why I unsubscribed. Yes, Jerry, you have an answer for everything. Okay, Lisa. In Jerry's defense, she is very intelligent. She is very smart. Um, but I do semi agree with you that she sometimes has answers for certain things that just, even to me, don't always make 100% sure. But D, yeah, I'm learning. I'm 50 years old and I'm still learning to take the good with the bad because I've had, to be honest with you, I've had more bad than good. Uh, don't have my handkerchief. That's why we made long sleeve shirts. But anyhow, yes, she does have a right to her opinion. I do not disagree with that. Um, but you know, there are just times that you have to stand up for your wife. Um, but she is not always correct. I will agree with that. She will agree with that, even though she doesn't want to. Uh, D. At the age of 50, I always, never realized I could live this long. But yeah, we're still young at heart. Yeah. Sorry, folks. It's good emotions. Brenda, I need to remember to bring a box of tissues in here. 'Cause I don't know where my handkerchief is. But, bugger. I really have to sign off. Uh, yeah. Jerry's in the other room. I'm actually, I don't know if you know this, but this is my office space. My Once I get it finally cleaned up, it's my place to go for relaxing and cooling off, calming down, whatever. Uh, and Jerry can't bring tissues to me her because of her leg issues. Excuse me. It is a way forward. You know, And be honest with you, I'm tired of looking backwards. But anyhow, I really do have to stop this, guys. I'm sorry. I mean, 72 of you guys now, and this is already over an hour and a half, 105 minutes. So not only do I have to stop because I have to go to bed, I have to set up medicine. Jerry can't do it because she's sick. She's got a sinus infection on top of the cancer. Um, yeah, cancer does suck. Uh, but we're we're fighting through the cancer. Even though she will always be a stage four cancer. Excuse me, I'm gonna do something I normally don't do, but I have to change this anyhow. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's it's one of those things that every day we here at the house deal with. I wake up in the morning. I get Jerry a cup of coffee to start her day, start my day. Take um, we take a good 15 to 20 minutes to just sit, talk about the morning. Just talk about whatever in the morning time. Just to spend some time together before I have to go off and go do my job. Uh, Monday is always difficult because when I get to work, I have to make everything fresh because one, we just had a 4 day weekend for our fall break. Two, Friday they had to shut the power down to do maintenance of some sort. So I'm gonna have to go in there and probably start literally everything from scratch. Uh, well, D, you'll be happy to know that Monday uh, I have a appointment with, I don't know if I should call the person a therapist or a counselor or what, but that's my doctor's appointment on Monday. I have to do something I hate doing, and my job doesn't like me doing it either. But they understand is tell them I need to have the 12th off for a medical appointment for her. Uh, so you know that's that's basically what I know about for my week. But anyhow, I'm. What's a holiday, D? I know today's a holiday. Um, it's Leap Erikson Day in Norway. Columbus Day. Oh, and I don't think we have Columbus Day off. I have to ask. Because if we have Columbus Day off, I don't have to worry about asking for the day off. Monday 10th is we don't have the 10th off, but I have a medical appointment. Um, Hi Hannah, I guess you just arrived. I'm about ready to sign off because I have no school. I don't know about the college. If I arrive on Monday and find out that the college is closed, I'll just turn around and go home. you know, no skin off my nose. I mean, but I don't remember having Columbus Day off at the college last year, so I'm not sure. Um, Thank you, Lisa. But anyhow, I don't want to. I don't want to stop, but at the same time, I have to stop because yeah, stop somewhere. I mean, I can talk to you guys literally all night long and be happy. But yes, good night. Sheila, good night. Diane, Lisa, Hannah. I know we just started, a very good talk. Um, as you can tell just by, but I will see you guys. Hopefully tomorrow I'll have a video. I don't know. It depends. Weekdays, me doing videos on weekdays has been a little difficult, to say the least. So I bid you guys good night. I hope you have a good week. I will hopefully see you again soon. Enjoy. Bye.